before the war, the hospital had a capacity of 700 beds. There's probably twice that number of wounded in the hospital. They're in mattresses in the corridors and in the emergency department. Today, we were told that the water pressure in the hospital is no longer capable of supporting the sterilization machines, and we were given gallons of disinfectant to start using when re-sterilizing surgical instruments between cases. The surgical capacity of the hospital was unable to deal with the sheer number of wounded. Now 9,000 wounded in 10 days.
What kind of people are being brought to you? What sort of ages?
So 40% of all the wounded are children. And they are everything from neonates to toddlers to teenagers. We're about to start our 11th case of the day today, and 5 of these cases were children. We've had elderly patients treated. We had an elderly man today with really quite a large injury to his right thigh. And all of them, especially the children, are being taken out from underneath the rubble of their homes when their homes were targeted.
And as well as the physical injuries, I mean, the psychological trauma must be horrific.
These children are traumatized. And what is even more devastating is there's a phenomena of wounded children that we're seeing in Gaza, and we refer to them as wounded children with no surviving family. I saw 2 yesterday. I saw operated on another one today. You know, these kids are facing a bleak future full of reconstructive surgery with no one to be there for them.
And how does that make you feel?
Well, as a parent, it's just heart-wrenching. I mean, and as a surgeon who does a lot of pediatric reconstructive work, I know the kind of surgeries that they're going to need. As their bodies try to grow, they are restricted by the scarring of the initial injury, and they need continuous surgery until they're teenagers and beyond, until they reach adult age.
I want to ask you finally about something that you tweeted today. You said, Dr. Abu Sitta, that police turned up at your family home in London, where your wife is, where your 3 boys are. Why?
I don't know. I think it's a kind of brutish attempt at harassment and silencing. I remain committed to speaking out on behalf of my patients, on behalf of the wounded here, on behalf of these families that are being destroyed. You know, there are 50 families who've been wiped out of the civil register, which means that the grandparents, the parents, and the grandchildren were all killed. The children that I treat. All of this means that it is my duty as a doctor to advocate for my patients and their families, and it's my duty to bear witness to the kind of carnage that's being committed against them, so that it would stop. And this kind of police tactics, I mean, and as if my wife did not have enough to worry about, that she had to endure this today. And it has now been taken up by the lawyers.
By your lawyers?
Yes. Well, I mean, I need to find out why someone thought it would be a good idea for them to show up at my house, and ask my wife which part of the hospital I'm in, and why did I go, and who paid for my ticket, and which charity do I work for. At this time, at these difficult times, my family is seeing this bombing unfold, knowing very well that I'm in the midst of it. And so to have them harassed in this way is really just bizarre.